Hello and welcome to Big Red Journeys. I'm your host, Chef Big Red, and we are here at Disneyland Resorts California Adventure for the Food and Wine Festival. One of my favorite of all the things here because it's just a smorgasbord of food they get to try out as well as drinks. So I'm going to take you on a full tour, show you all the different booths, what the food offerings are, try of course some of the food, give you my honest reviews, and of course just have a good old time. So if you care to follow me on this journey, let's go. So we entered into California Adventure, but first before we start with the food festival, we have to get our Sip and Savor Pass. There's a couple places where you can get them. This is the front side over here before all the booths. Usually there's always a nice hefty line over here. So to save yourself some time, you can always buy them at all the food vendors, as well as some of the other locations that you can see here. Elias and Company, Festival Gifts, Festival Marketplaces, and such and so forth. Saves you a little bit of time. And then also make sure to pick up yourself a tasting passport here. They're usually in these little columns. They again have all the information you need, map of all the locations, including on some of them they have the entertainment schedules. For example, we're going to see later hopefully the JAMMIN chefs. That's a really cool percussion. It reminds me of like Stomp, like the Broadway show, but Disneyified with a little bit of kick and a recipe with some food. Alice's Wonderland Bakery. This is for the little ones ages 3 to 11. It's pretty cool because my friend SOCAL Disney Dad Trevor, his kids did it one year and they got to decorate their own cupcake with some characters. And then here's the lineup for this year for the festival. Fat Cat Swingers making their return, one of the biggest jazz bands I love to hear. The ALDANA Band. Suburban Legends, that kind of looks like a ska rock punk band. And down at the Paradise Garden Bandstand, we got Fault Lines Island Reggae Band, Deneen Soul Foundation, and Standard Mill Quartet. Well, let's go take a look. We're going to start off over here. I'm going to show you the locations of all the little food booths that they have. This one's in kind of what I call the Marvel cul-de-sac. This is also, if you were here for Oogie Boogie Bash, they had Ernesto de la Cruz singing over here. But we got two. We got the Berry Patch, and to the right we have Delish. Over at the Berry Patch, these are your food offerings. You got the Kenny's Family Cheesecake, the Blueberry Buttermilk Pie, the Blueberry Pancake Cold Brew, which is non-alcoholic. You got the Beef and Parley Poutine, which we did end up ordering, so we'll get that a little bit later. The Cubano Slider, that was actually very good from last year. And the Apricot Tequila Colada. That actually looks very nice and refreshing. So, ended up picking up our badge, but I made the mistake. We went to Garlic Kissed, and this is actually a pro tip for you, but before I go into that. So here is the lanyard that you're gonna get. It has a little bit of all the Sip and Saving offerings, QR code on the bottom for you to check it out. But normally there is 8 tabs, 3 on this side, 3 here, and 2 below. First of all, never take those off until you are ready to order your food item in front of the cast members, because they won't believe you. Say, oh yeah, no, this used to be on here and have one on there. They have to actually see you physically tear it off. Trust me, it's happened to me before in the past. Wasn't able to get the item, but that's okay, I digress. And of course, the price of these is, you're gonna need 8 samples. It's normally $59. If you're an annual pass holder, it is $54. And you do get the cool lanyard with it as well too. If you don't have the annual pass, you just get a basic, I think it's like a black or blue lanyard. No big whoop. So to also maximize what you're gonna end up ordering, so we paid $54 because we're annual pass holders. So you divide that by 8, it ends up being about $6.75 per item. So what you want to do to really maximize your ROI, return on investment on it, is to make sure when you order something, don't order something that's cheap or below that $6.75 threshold. Get stuff that's higher, the $8, the $9, even $10 item. That way you feel like, hey, I'm getting the best bang for my buck. My recommendation is if you do want something that's less than that threshold, don't waste a tab on it. Pay for it out of pocket. Also, make sure to pick up one of the passports. These are pretty much available all throughout the pathway. This is going to show you where all the locations of the different booths are going to be at, as well as, of course, most importantly, what is being offered at each booth. And then also, just so you know, alcoholic beverages are not included with the sampler. You can, of course, get those, but you're going to have to pay for them if you are 21 and older. One of the biggest tips I always like to give people is ordering ahead. So there's multiple locations throughout the pathway for you to get your food. To save yourself time, and of course to also ensure that you get an item if you want, is to do a order ahead of time or multiple location order. So you're going to see here is our long receipt that we got. We went to Garlic Kissed, used up all of our tabs and then some. and we ordered what items we wanted from the different locations. But also, mind you, this isn't also a guarantee that they're going to do this. They kind of fluctuate whether they allow you to do it or not based upon crowd attendance and also food-wise availability. One of the items I'm looking most forward to is over here at Garlic Kissed. I am a big fan of Garlic Kissed. But here is the menu they got. They got the carbonaro garlic mac and cheese with bacon, the grilled top sirloin. This is the one, oh, I'm always a huge fan of it with the chimichurri. They got a raspberry limoncello-ade and a guava lychee mule. Well, the first set of food items we ended up getting were from Garlic Kissed. We ended up getting the carbonara garlic mac and cheese. Always good to have good old mac and cheese topped with bacon. And my favorite, the grilled top sirloin with the chimichurri sauce. And to wash it all down, we got this lovely little fruity beverage, the raspberry limoncello-ade. Limoncello grapefruit liqueur, house-made mint syrup, raspberry syrup, lemon juice, with a little beautiful white orchid on top. First, the mac and cheese. What can I say? Creaminess, cheesiness, garlicness. 5 chef kisses indeed. And then the item I am looking most forward to, the sirloin. Words are not needed here, but the whole point of this video is to tell you about it. But that is just, the meat is tender, the chimichurri is zesty, the potatoes are just delicious. 5 out of 5, chef kiss all around. A little drink. That is very good. Fruitiness, a little extra sugary, not my type of drink, but still very good. Overall, 4 out of 5. But it's definitely a sweet one, so you have to have a sweet tooth for it. It is a treat to be here at California Adventure for the Food Festival, but a real treat for you is this guy right over here. It was PG Mr. Morrow. I saw him earlier. He was over there. No, it's this guy right over here.
Me?
Yes, I know. Shocker to the channel. It is SoCal Disney Dad Traver himself. If you're new to the channel, this guy, he makes his appearances. I pay him his royalties, don't worry. But we do a lot together, water parks, theme parks, and everything. But we ended up having, now we call this the season of cameos, where we just start scheduling our own trips together. And yeah, we're in San Diego, saves on carpooling trips and all that, right? Works out perfectly. But so far, what have been some of your, been your favorite items so far?
The barbecue beef brisket slider. That was amazing. Okay,
we did order that. We got to pick it up a little bit later. And then what would be the opposite? What's something that really fell short for you today?
The brownie, the celebration brownie.
And that's unfortunate because Disneyland usually makes pretty good desserts.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. Well, we didn't order that, but we ended up getting the Snickers macaroon, and you just had that too. That was delicious, right? That's good to hear. Time for avocado, and we have these offerings here: the Impossible Nacho Mac and Cheese, the Impossible Al Pastor Taco, which I ended up getting, and the Blackberry Lavender Lemonade, which is the non-alcoholic drink of choice. Next up on our stop of foods, we ended up going to the avocado time, doing the Impossible Al Pastor Taco. Al Pastor Taco with Impossible pork, with grilled pineapple and avocado tomatillo salsa. And to wash it all down, we got the Blackberry Lavender Lemonade, which is blackberry puree and syrup, lavender syrup, pineapple, lemon juices, garnished with a lemon wheel, and this is a non-alcoholic beverage. That's pretty good. It doesn't have the same consistency as like adobado or al pastor pork, but the flavor and the seasonings are definitely there. Salsa is nice and sweet, no spice there, so that's pretty good. But honestly, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'm very impressed with it. And then wash it all down again with the Blackberry Lavender Lemonade. You definitely have to be a fan of those floral flavors. You know, again, lavender, obviously. But for example, are you a blue milk guy or a green milk guy over at Batu Galaxy's Edge, right? I personally, I'm a big fan of the green, so I enjoy this one. But overall, flavors are pretty well. Interesting, would I get it again? Probably not, but I'm still going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Well, look who I just ran into, my old buddy, the East Coaster, Paige and Mr. Morrow. How you doing?
Yeah, very well. Enjoying this nice California hospitality.
Very nice. Unfortunately, not the California weather though. This is I mean, it's not raining just yet. I felt a few sprinkles, but normally we have the sunshine here.
Yeah, I'll take it. The other day I was at Flower and Garden. I was sweating, and today I'm Food and Wine, and I'm freezing.
Okay, trade off. It works out perfectly. But if you haven't seen this guy's channel before, you have to. If not, you should already be subscribed. I'm going to put a link down in the description below. But definitely follow this guy. Love him. Great guy.
Thanks, guys.
Made our way down here to the Hollywood Land Loud. This is where they're going to have some of the seminars. Now, these are the ones that you can actually sit down and watch for free. No additional charge. They're part of the festival. Chefs, they actually have some quite good celebrity chefs that come in here so often. I personally don't know any of them, but they come in here, prep some food. You can see them on the background over there.
Asian, in Japanese cooking and in Taiwanese cooking, they use a lot of sweet potato flour. Instead of cornstarch, they'll use a lot more of this.
Okay, yeah. I bet it's probably healthier than corn. Maybe just because it says sweet potato in it, I think it's healthier.
Maybe.
Also, here are two more of the food booths. We have I Heart Artichokes, and over here you're going to have some. You got the artichoke pizzetta, artichoke toast with olive tapenade, and the drink of choice here is a passion fruit rum cocktail. And then just on the other side with the Coliseum looking sign, we got LA Style. LA Style is going to have glazed barbecue pork belly with furikake tokarashi mac salad. Hopefully I said that correctly. The Impossible Gyro inspired naan. We're going to get that a little bit later. And their drink here, non-alcoholic, the Echo Park Cooler. I did find this interesting. We just saw this in between. Because, I know that Impossible is plant, is non-meat, but I never really understood what's inside of it. So not only do they also tell you a bigger, larger version of what the Gyro inspired naan is, but they actually tell you what's inside their Impossible meat. You got coconut oil, cellulose, soy protein, vitamins, sugars, aminos, sunflower oil, potato protein, and hemi? I don't know what that is. At the Hollywood Lounge, here are some of the drinks that you have for this year's Food Wine Festival. The Margarita Flight, which includes watermelon, cucumber, and mango margaritas. All have a chili lime seasoning rim, which is nice. The Dragon Fruit Soju Mule, soju, dragon fruit syrup, lime juice, ginger ale with Dole dragon fruit, and a Backlot Michelada with a Modelo Especial Michelada with chile, lime, seasoning, and lime. Then at the Hollywood Lot, little food truck that they got. Here's the two items, the Korean fried chicken slider and the watermelon punch, non-alcoholic. That looks very good because it's got the oat milk, so it's kind of a little creamy. But the Korean fried chicken slider, that looks delicious. Maybe we'll get that later. And of course, some of the best things to do here at the food festival is to meet some of the greatest characters, including Chef Goofy. How you doing today, sir? Good. I see you've been quickly preparing and getting ready for the festival, cooking some delicious food, a slice of cake. We got the pizza. Oh, that's very good. And the pie, what type of pie is that? Cherry pie? That's cherry pie. I knew it. My favorite pie, of course, it had to be. That's so good. You got me full already. I know. I've been ordained as an official chef. I know. Thank you. Congratulations. Appreciate it. But speaking of chefs, I unfortunately have bad news for you. Did you hear that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, their restaurant went out of business? Apparently, they're only good as short order cooks. Get it? Yeah, I know. Yep, they couldn't handle the heat. No, we're not gonna go on that ride. You'll probably never see me go on that ride unless, well, maybe when I hit 1,000 subscribers. But over here at TERRAN Treats, they have a specialty menu item for the festival. The Like a Lemon Raspberry Pie Churro, raspberry flavored spiral churro topped with a lemon and marshmallow glaze. But on a more serious note, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, this will be my deal to you. I absolutely hate this ride with a fiery passion. I'll make a deal with you. You help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll go on this ride. I'll record it for a POV style, just for you. But do your end first, and then I'll do this.
Space.
Another round of the Impossible meat. We ended up getting the Impossible Gyro-inspired naan. We got roasted chickpeas, tzatziki sauce. We got the meat down there at the bottom and the flatbread. This looks interesting and amazing all at the same time. I want to try one of these little chickpeas first. I've been hearing great things about them. I want a bag of those. I want to order and just say, can you just give me chickpeas alone? Spicy, little limey zest to it. Very, just deliciousness overall. The chickpeas alone give 5 out of 5. But let me do a quick little bite here of the actual naan itself with everything. Okay, I don't know if it's necessarily a gyro or naan, but that reminds me of a sope. And if you know what the little flat leaven bread and Mexican food, we put the frijoles, the beans and everything. I know it's supposed to be impossible to me, but it tastes more like frijoles. Don't ask me why. But the tzatziki sauce is delicious. 4.5 out of 5. It's very good. Bye. Don't forget to ride.
Do you have your paperwork?
Not on me.
Uh-oh. That'll cost ya.
Oh boy.
Next time, bring me a churro.
So I got in trouble because I didn't have my paperwork in order. So Roz told me I had to come back with a churro.
Oh.
So perfect, because we're gonna go try that tiramisu churro, which is over there. The best thing I wanted to try the whole festival.
Excellent.
But we ended up getting the tiramisu churro. It looks delicious, but unfortunately that syrup kind of got absorbed in pretty well. Doesn't look the same, but I'm sure it's still delicious. Let's give it a try. So we decided to share one. Amy's gonna get first dibs.
I love it. It's very good. Trevor would hate it.
Okay, Trevor, time for you to try it.
I'll pass.
Okay, more for me.
It is very good though.
Okay, since I do out of 5s, what do I do? What do you say on this one?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, decent score. They've had that type of churro before, but it's definitely the sauce that gives it that like coffee, Kahlua taste. I don't know how to describe it better. But yeah, not the biggest fan of coffee myself personally, so I'm going to stick with the 4 out of 5. Very good and delicious, well worth it. Over here at Nuts and Cheese, or Nuts About Cheese, excuse me, we got a few good items over here. We got the petite burrata, grilled ciabatta with tomato and olive jam. Got crackers and cheese, house-made herb crackers with white cheddar infused fromage blanc. And the item we're picking up here, the coveted Snickers Mickey Mouse shaped macaron. And of course the flowers and bee gin and elderflower liqueur. Some more sweetness. We had to get the Mickey Mouse shaped macaron with Snickers. We had this last year. It was a 5 out of 5. Spoiler alert, 5 out of 5. But we ended up getting the flowers and bees, which is gin, elderflower liqueur, lemon juice, honey syrup, hibiscus, lavender syrups, garnished with a purple paisley, and there is no, a purple pansy, and they ran out of purple pansies. So give this drink a sip. Salud. I'm a big fan of gin. It matches well. It's got a complex combo of flavors that work very well with one another. This is probably my favorite drink of the whole thing so far. 5 out of 5. The Snicker macaron. If there is one dessert you have to have before you leave, this is the one you have to have. No question about it. Make sure you can do the multiple location order ahead of time. Get this on there. 5 out of 5 every day of the week. But you do have to like Snickers, because this is literally a big old Snicker, pretty much. Here at Golden Dreams, we have the infamous elote paleta, a sweet corn paleta with parm crema, chili lime seasoning, and corn crunch. Yes, it is an ice cream bar. Got the roasted beet and goat cheese flatbread, and the drink of choice over here is non-alcoholic, the Central California Cooler. In front of Ariel's underwater adventure, we got California craft brews. the food items that they have. They only have one food item that's going to be the IPA sausage dog on a soft pretzel roll with onion pepper, jardinier, cheddar cheese sauce, and malt vinegar. But they have a large variety of beers on tap. You can get a Bright and Balanced Beer Flight, Fun with Flavor Beer Flight, the IPA Beer Flight. Each of these are $17 or $17.50. And of course, by the glass, the different offerings of drinks that they have here. Right underneath the golden zipper, we have CLUCK-A-DOODLE-MOO. The menu offerings for this are going to be the smoked honey habanero chicken wings tossed in a honey habanero seasoning. These are going to be dry wings. The barbecue beef brisket slider. And the two drinks of choice here are the Chipotle pineapple bourbon sour and the smoked cherry mascaliki cocktail. So I ended up actually getting 3 out of the 4, the wings, the brisket slider, and the bourbon sour. The smoked honey habanero wings, they're going to be chicken wings tossed in a honey habanero seasoning. These are a dry wing. And then the barbecue beef brisket slider, which is going to be featuring Fiscalini Farmstead smoked cheddar, dill pickles on a salt and pepper brioche. And then to wash it down while I scoot this over, I end up getting the Chipotle pineapple bourbon sour. That's going to be your bourbon, pineapple lime juices, honey syrup, and Chipotle sour puree, garnished with a dried red pineapple wheel. Just because it's available, I'm going to give a quick sip to the pineapple sour. Salud. Oh, that is very good. Nice little smokiness, the Chipotle there. Tiny little bit of kick in the back of your throat, but it's not really spicy at all. But you know what's funny about it? I mean, obviously it has pineapple. This tastes like a Dole Whip. Just the juice, the pineapple juice of a Dole Whip, like when it's completely melted. That's what it tastes like with a shot of bourbon, to be honest with you. I like it. But it's a little too sweet for me, especially after so much sugar I've had earlier. So, but realistically, 4.5 out of 5. I enjoy it a lot. Time for some wings. I mean, pretty good. You get 4 of them. Pretty good deal. Usually they always end up giving you like 2 or 3. So they get 4 is a pretty good deal. And yeah, they're the smell good, smell with a nice spice, and they're dry. So that is very nice. The sweetness brings down the heat, but even the heat is not that bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, a 3. So for the heat index, if you're more sensitive to heat, you might feel a little bit more of a spice to it. But for me, it's low, 2, 3. But the combination, the hot, the sweet, very good. I like these a lot. Another 4 out of 5 for these. For the slider, I took off the pickle because I am not a fan of pickles whatsoever. But it does come with onion straws, you know, the little fried onions, the brisket, some barbecue sauce, and kind of like a creamy mustard. It tastes like a brisket sandwich you get like in a nice smokehouse, Disney style. Very good. I enjoyed it. Barbecue sauce. Could use a little more barbecue sauce or some mustard, but the cheese, the brisket, everything works very well. I love the onion straws, so I am going to give it 4.5 out of 5. I really like it a lot. At the Paradise Garden Grill, they do have a lot more vegetarian offerings this year, including the torta de chilaquiles, the Impossible Gyro fries, buffalo mac and cheese, and the bulgogi fried rice. These are all going to be made with either paso beef or just some sort of vegetarian item. They also have the peach and blueberry cobbler. Over here, we already missed all the showtimes for the night, but this is where they're going to have the band stage, where you're going to see some of the musical talents that aren't going to be on the main stage in front of the lagoon. For you fellow beer drinkers, this is going to be the Festival Beer Garden. They have a lot of wonderful beers on tap, including some from, I got Blonde Ale, some from San Diego, Vista, Torrance, Golden Road Brewing. Lots of good choices here. And if you want something small and delicious, they have pretzel bites with beer cheese sauce. And then I believe this is the last of the stations for the food booths was Peppers. CALI-ENTE. Put a little hyphen between the Cali and the Ente. They had the chile relleno empanada, the camarones a la diabla, and the cantarito style paloma. And unfortunately, the only item we wanted today was the camarones a la diabla, and they ran out of those really early. Well, and the last item that we're gonna finish the night off with was that delish. That's the beef and barley poutine, which is gonna have potato bites with braised beef short ribs, cheese curds, stout gravy, and large micro sponge. We've had this before, it's good, so I expect it to be about the same, probably at least a 4 out of 5. And then the drink here is gonna be the apricot tequila colada. It's gonna have reposado tequila, Aperol, apricot puree, coconut creme, and orange and lime juices, garnished with a little lime wheel. Last little bit of food for the day, the poutine. Let me get a good bite here. The cheese, got the meat, the tater tots. Love the gravy. It's like a beer gravy, so it's got that nice little beer essence taste, if you know what I'm talking about. Tater tots are good. Braised beef is good. Overall, it's very good. 4.5 out of 5. The drink, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. It's definitely got a little bit of a cloudiness to it. It's probably the coconut creme. I expect it to have a very strong tropically taste. And sure enough, it does. The creme, the coconut's popping out through there. The tequila tastes, it honestly tastes, in my way, it's like a margarita. And they put a little creme on top, and of course a little bit of juice on there. So overall, it's okay. But of all the alcoholic drinks I've had today, this is probably not the worst, that's a terrible word to use, but definitely my least favorite. But definitely better than a lavender lemonade. So 3.5 going on the verge of 4 if I'm generous. There's the top dog himself. How you doing, sir? Doing good? Good. What's been your favorite food so far? Everything, all of it. I know, that's a dog after my own heart with everything. My favorite was personally the chicken wings. And I left you all the bones for later because I know how you love them bones. Perfect. I'll visit you later, okay? And then one of the last things before we end the night, down here at the Buena Vista Circle, we got the other specialty churro, the pineapple coconut churro. Pineapple, sugar, pineapple topping, coconut, cream icing, and toasted coconut. I'm gonna have to skip on this one, but it still sounds pretty delicious. Well, that is gonna do it for this journey here at the Wine and Food Festival at California Adventure. I had a great time. Trevor, did you have a good time?
Phenomenal. Best festival in years.
And it really is. Disneyland, we've gone to many food festivals. Disneyland always tends to be the gold standard when it comes to food. And again, this year proved it to be true once more. So make sure, one, subscribe and follow to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure also subscribe to this guy's channel as well. I'm going to put his information down below. Make sure he has some really great Disney content. And we're going to see each other more often too as the year progresses. As well as make sure to follow me on social media at Big Red Journeys, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. So hope to see you around and see you on the next journey. Bye-bye now.